quick asides before we really start talking about the Indianapolis Colts. Number one, praise for Johnathan Taylor does not equate to criticism of Daniel Jones. All right? Because we appreciate what Johnathan Taylor did yesterday, 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns for a fifth time this season. That doesn't mean that we don't like Daniel Jones. That's not what that means. So let's not take it so personal. All right? And the Monday Night Football game, I prophesized that the Colts Chiefs game was going to be flexed to Monday Night Football without realizing that the following week the Chiefs were going to play on Thursday. So they can't be flexed to Monday, or they would only have 2 days off to prepare for a Thanksgiving Day game. That isn't going to happen. So they're not going to flex that thing. Maybe it moves to later. I don't know. We'll see what the schedule is. But as it stands now, maybe that's what we should accept the schedule will be. That's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to be a fun game. I think that the Chiefs, they beat the Broncos this week, and they go into that week against the Colts with a 6-4 record. The Colts 8-2, and we'll see what happens at Arrowhead. I think it's going to be cool. All right. Hopefully you're having an offensive or an awesome day, Brad. Not an offensive day. An offensive day is the kind of day I used to have because I tended to offend people. Now I don't so much. When I was in my teens in high school, I was a whirling dervish of offensive banter. That's what I was. We're going to talk about Johnathan Taylor a little bit because good things are happening, obviously, for Johnathan Taylor. How much does he lead the NFL in rushing by? I'll tell you. How much do the Colts lead everybody by in terms of overall offense and in how many categories? That list is quite long. We will go through all of it. Patrick says, hello, Kent. How come Colts don't have Jalen Jones play Mekhi Blackman's spot yesterday? Mekhi Blackman keeps getting burned and receiving penalties. The one penalty was nonsense, though. That defensive pass interference toward the end of the game in the overtime, that was absolute crap. That was a terrible, terrible call. All right? Just letting you know. So, yes, there were penalties on Blackman yesterday, plural. And, yes, he's missed some things. But I'm going to go ahead and side with Lou Anarumo. Maybe Jones isn't ready to play every down. Maybe he's got some things to learn about the Lou Anarumo defense. Maybe he has done things where he wasn't in the right spot at the right time doing the right thing, and he's got to figure out how to play Lou Anarumo-style football, given the fact that he was on the shelf for a long, long, long time. Maybe all of those things are true. We heard from Shane Steichen today. He had nothing but praise for everybody, as you would expect, as the head coach of an 8-2 team. They're going to do their own self-scout this week during the bye and try to figure some things out, come back next week and really kind of key in on game planning against the Chiefs. And that's going to be a hell of a game. I can't wait till November 23rd. How about those Jags? The Jags fell apart, didn't they? And we know they're going to fall apart. And the Colts, they've got a substantial lead over them, got a substantial lead over the Texans. Keep stacking wins, and you're going to win the AFC South. What'd you think about Steichen going for it on 4th downs? You know what? When you make it, you're a hero. And when you don't make it, you're a GOAT. And that's the way it goes. I like the way Steichen attacks the game. He's got faith in his guys. It's got to be like, let's go get that yard. Let's go get that 3 yards. And the vast majority of the time, they get that done. Would you rather have him be really, really conservative like Mike Tomlin and almost never go for it? Because when you never go for it, you never get it. And if you never get it, you're going to have a tough time beating good teams. But good question. The total record of the opponents that the Colts have left on their schedule, 36-28. They've got 2 opponents right now with non-winning records. And they're both the same team. They're both the Houston Texans, who are 4-5. And the Texans have not been bad recently. All right, Texans have won 4 of 6. So this is no cakewalk. There are no patsies on this schedule for the Colts. This is going to be a knockdown, drag it out, 7-game slog to the end where you really, really hope that you can beat the Jags once, you beat the Texans once. If you can split with those two teams, you are going to win the AFC South. Because you're going to win another game someplace, right? You're either going to beat the Jags, Texans in the other games that they play against them, right? Or you're going to beat the 49ers at home, or the Chiefs, or the Seahawks on the road. But it is a gauntlet. And they better, you know what? Get in the ice bath, get this week behind them, come back to work next week, and be ready to go. This bye could not have come at a better time. Sometimes the bye is really ill-timed. This time, it is really well-timed because it coincides after week 10. This schedule gets much, much tougher. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about IU and Wisconsin this weekend at Memorial Stadium. Going to be an awesome show by the Hoosiers. They are favored by 30.5 points. I got to tell you, I'm not bullish on the Hoosiers to cover that 30.5 because Wisconsin's defense is not a joke. Offensively, all of their quarterbacks are hurt, and their entire offensive line, multiple steps down on the depth chart, that's hurt. That's not a good sign for Wisconsin. Indiana's going to win this game, but 30.5 is a ton of points against a team that just beat a ranked Washington team. But what are you going to do? Maybe they beat them by 50. I don't know. Last week, I thought that Indiana was going to hammer Penn State and win by 20-plus points. This week, maybe I've got recency bias. I don't know. Patrick says playing better teams at end of season helps Colts when they get into the playoffs. Seattle, San Francisco, yeah, that's true. And they played good teams so far. You know, you didn't think so when the schedule came out necessarily, but as it turned out, it's been really, really good. So you did get those two gimmies against the Titans. You know what? I'd love to have the Titans a couple of more times on the schedule. Wouldn't you? That'd be nice. That'd work for me. We're going to talk about IU football. Elijah Sarratt, he is day-to-day, according to Curt Cignetti. And then we have Drew Evans, who's going to be out for a few more weeks, according to Cignetti. And, you know, I'm going to ask a question a little bit later, a rhetorical question that really kind of rubs me the wrong way. And when I wrote it, I was like, am I dreaming? What in the hell is going on here with Indiana football? We're going to talk about Indiana basketball. Indiana basketball almost ranked in the coaches' poll. We don't know what Marquette is yet. They lost a lot of guys. We don't know what they are. We don't know what they're going to be. This is a complete unknown. We don't know what Indiana is or what it's going to be. And we're not likely to find out when they play against Incarnate Word or Milwaukee or who else they got coming up? Lindenwood. Unlikely to find that out. Then the schedule gets a little bit sexier as they take on Kansas State at Assembly Hall. And then a little bit later, from December 3rd through December 12th, that's quite a run of real high-quality opponents. Brian Daboll, gone as the head coach of the Giants. Maybe Jeff Saturday is available to be the head coach of the Giants. It's about that time, isn't it? That, you know, you replace a guy. Why would you do this if you're the New York Giants? Like, I get it. Brian Daboll is not a good head coach. And so the team got worse and worse and worse. Year one, they go to the playoffs. Year two, not so good. Year three, terrible. And this is year four, they're 2-8. So you knew he had to go. But if you were going to start the season with his ass, why would you not wait until you can end it with him? Why would you fire him now and with about half the season left, know that you're not going to be worth a damn through the whole thing? Why not write it out with the guy? I never understand this. Like, interim coaches, only under the most serious circumstances, only in, like, if there's moral turpitude, do you make a change like this? I was not a fan of Frank Reich as a head coach of the Colts. But I thought that was a huge mistake to move on from Frank Reich and install a guy who's never been the head coach of anything outside a high school team. That seemed insane to me. How'd it turn out? Brian Kelly, he wants his money, and he'll take it every month, thank you. or there are going to be legal proceedings. He was offered $25 million in a lump, then $30 million in a lump. He's like, nah, I'll just take my $729,729.73 every single month through 2031. Thank you very much. We'll talk about that a little bit, and we'll talk about Victor Oladipo signing with the Milwaukee Bucks G League affiliate. What's that mean? I don't know. Maybe he and Miles Turner are going to open a Lego store together. Feathery Legos. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And this is nice. We're going to give stuff away. We're giving away an autographed jersey, I believe, of a former or current Indianapolis Colt. I don't even know who the Colts are necessarily. I don't think I looked at them all, did I? And then we do have kind of the Zonk prize, unless you are a Michigan Wolverine fan. So there you go. We will roll the magic prize die, and then we will spin the magnificent prize wheel, the fabulous prize wheel. Tickets, fresh tickets, are affixed to the fabulous prize wheel. We will spin it at the end. And if you are a subscriber and you have entered, you are eligible to win, and perhaps your prize ticket is on the wheel. Even I don't know who's on the prize wheel, for God's sake. Ken Sterling, you know, your Colts have 0 chance against the Chiefs. Really? Man, you know, as I think back, I think about all of those Colts Chiefs games dating way back into the 90s. And so few times didn't the Colts, wait a minute. You know what? That's an interesting comment. Hold the phone. Oh, boy. Let me see here. Let me see how this has worked. All right? I love people who speak like this. Colts. Well, I'll do Colts versus Chiefs history. All right. There we are, the football database. They do a good job at this. The Colts have won the last 2. Those were in 2022 and 2019. Colts won 20-17 in the year that Frank Reich got fired and Jeff Saturday replaced him. In 2019, the Colts beat the Chiefs 19-13. And in the playoffs, after the 2018 season, the Chiefs beat the Colts 31-13. Chiefs beat the Colts prior to that in 2016, 30-14. Colts, we remember this game. In the 2013 playoffs, of course, the Colts beat the Chiefs 45-44. Remember that game? That was the game when the Colts were dead. And Andrew Luck somehow brought that team back, put them on his shoulders, and won that game. That was the most incredible comeback I've ever seen. You can talk about Manning going up against the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football and pulling that game out when they were down 3 scores with less than 5 minutes left. We can talk about that one. We can talk about the game against the Texans where Gary Brackett got that fumble. They had no chance to win that game. But that 45-44 game against the Chiefs, that was something else. And then you go back prior to that, and the Colts won. This goes back to 1990. They won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, including that 45-44 game. They won 13 and lost 2 of the previous 15 that those 2 teams played. So I'm sorry, you can believe what you want about the all-time series between the Colts and the Chiefs. Not so much. No ownership asserted by the Kansas City Chiefs. Not in recent history or past history. This is Inside Indiana Sports. Now for Monday, November 10th, 2025. Brought to you by the great people at YouTube TV. I'm telling you, YouTube TV, they're fighting for you. And they're fighting for me. because they don't want to pay the amount of money that Disney is trying to charge them to bring ESPN, ABC, Disney, and FX into our homes. And I dig it. Stand up. Turn them away. Tell them to get the hell out of your conference room until they come in at the price that you want and you believe that we can afford. I dig it. All right? Taylor Swift weakens legs. What jersey is Caitlin Clark going to wear as she stands in Taylor Swift's suite? Would she have the temerity to wear Chiefs gear? Would Taylor Swift say, hey, you can't bring that Colts jersey in here. Get the hell out of here. Would she do that? I don't know. Please, you know what? We deal with those crazy bastards. They're fine. It's all good. I welcome them, actually, the trolls. Come on. Bring it. But bring your A game. Don't bring the B game. And don't be unnecessarily profane. Let's go. How real is the Colts 8-2 record? Oh, by the way, if you want to subscribe to YouTube TV, here's what you do. I got a link in the show description. It'll be up right after the live is over. You click on it, you get $15 off your first bill. How about that? Your first month. Also, we're going to give away a prize. You want to be eligible to win a prize? Subscribe. You must be a subscriber, and you must use the phrase that pays as your entry in a comment. The phrase that pays, JT MVP. There you go. It's just that simple for today. All right. The Colts' remaining schedule. You got the Chiefs, who are 5-4. That's at Arrowhead. Then you've got the Texans here. The Jaguars there, Seattle there. That's a game that's going to be tough. If you've never played before in Seattle, it is really difficult to get kind of accommodated to or acclimated to the surroundings. It is really loud. It is really unpleasant. Then you have the 49ers on Monday Night Football here at 5. They are 6-4. Jaguars are 5-4. That game's here. And then you wrap up the season against the 4-5 Texans, and you hope that somehow, some way you can cobble together 3 more wins, go 11-6, and you win the AFC South. That is the basement. That's the ground floor of our hopes. All right? So let's start there and build our way up. Let's get 3 more, including that game against the Chiefs. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But Seattle's won 4 in a row. The Texans have won 4 of 6. The Jags have lost 3 of 4. Chiefs have won 5 of 7. 49ers have won 3 of their last 6. Colts, number 1 offense in the NFL in points scored, 321. In yards gained, 3,969. In rushing TDs, 22. In yards per attempt running the football, 5.3. In scoring percentage, 56.7. Yards per drive, 40.3. And points per drive, 3.14. The defense, not nearly as good. Number 8 in points against with 206. 17th in yards against. Mooney Ward likely back after the bye. You need more pressure. Man, you got to get more out of Kwity Paye. You just do. Doing your job, doing what you're supposed to do is only a positive if what you're supposed to do means you hit the quarterback or something. Make a play. He did have 2 sacks in a game, I believe. So, you know what? There was a game. There was a time this season when Kwity Paye had his way. That's got to come again in Kansas City. You can't just hold your guy. You can't occupy a guy. Even you can't occupy 2 guys. You got to go make tackles. You got to go make plays. Let's go Kwity. All right? Let's talk about IU, Wisconsin. Noon on Saturday. Hoosiers minus 30.5. Drew Evans is out for a few more weeks, according to Curt Cignetti, and Elijah Sarratt is day-to-day. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth it to play him against Wisconsin? Or give him the Wisconsin game off. Then you've got a bye week. Then you got the bucket game. And then the following week, you got the Big Ten championship game at Lucas Oil Stadium. If you can keep from tripping over either Wisconsin at Memorial Stadium or Purdue at Ross-Ade Stadium. We shall see. this is no longer about Wisconsin. Like this week isn't about Wisconsin. This week is about playing in Indianapolis on December 6th in the Big Ten Championship. And it may not even be about that. It may be about the college football playoff and trying to become the national champion. It is about that. Can it be about the bucket and the Big Ten Championship and the national championship? Maybe. If you go 12-0 and you play Ohio State tough in the national championship game, you are not going to fall out of that first bye, that first round bye. That first round bye I love because nobody gets hurt when you're on a bye. Unless they, trip over something in their apartment, they fall down and hit their head. We hope that doesn't happen. Let's talk, and I'm sad because I wanted to see Danny O'Neal play this weekend at Memorial Stadium. That's not going to be possible. He popped his Achilles, and that sucks for Danny. Danny, an all-time tough kid, even in a run where his Achilles lets go, and you can see when it happened. He took about 5 more steps, still running, and lowered his shoulder into a defender. Like, that's pretty nutty when you got 2 good Achilles. When you got one, what most guys do when that lets go, they let go of the ball, stand there like, what do I do now? Not Danny O'Neal. Danny put his head down, ear-holed the defender, and then went down, continuing to possess the football. That's a tough kid. Next real test for IU basketball, it is 2 weeks from tomorrow against Kansas State. IU can beat Purdue with its second string. Hey. I can't read anything like that. Here's the question that I asked about IU Wisconsin. Does it make sense to sit guys against Wisconsin? And then I thought to myself, my God, what kind of a question is this? What am I asking? Have I lost my mind? Am I deranged? This is Indiana football we're talking about, and this is Wisconsin football we're talking about. Somehow those two ships passed in the night going in opposite directions, and Indiana is where Wisconsin wants to be, and Wisconsin is where Indiana used to be at. What? I know what you're saying, Kent. You're saying, what? But the next real test is Kansas State for Indiana. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. Then from December 3rd through December 12th, you have this gauntlet to navigate. At Minnesota, at the Barn. Then you got Louisville at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. You've got Penn State at IU. And you've then got UK at Rupp. We're going to find out a lot about Indiana during that 4-game stretch. Indiana owes Wisconsin 80. I wonder if anybody, other than Scott Dolson and Jeremy Gray, within that athletic department, remembered the 80 burger, and it was more than that, wasn't it? Wasn't it 83? 83-20 was the final, I think, against Wisconsin. Anybody, if fans remember, I remember, you remember, does anybody down there, does it mean anything to Cignetti? Different coach, all different, obviously different players, for God's sake. Freddie says, Kent, you think Giants coach being fired has anything to do with Jones' success here with the Colts? I think it has more to do with 2-8, but I would think so. I would think yes. Absolutely. I would say if I were a member of the Mara family, I would say, Brian, why is this guy doing what he's doing with the Colts, and he never did what he's doing with the Colts here with us? Why is that? And I think Brian Daboll, well, he'd give you about a 15-minute answer. And at the end, if I was one of the Maras, I would say, and I would be very confused. And maybe it was the answer to that question which prompted, maybe the Maras asked. And if they did, they were so flummoxed by the answer, they said, hey, call Jeff Saturday, see if he's available for another interim gig. We got a number 1 overall draft pick to go get, and we think Jeff Saturday's exactly the guy to bring it here. Daboll went 9-7-1 and went to the playoffs, 6-11, 3-14, and right now he's 2-8 after losing to the Bears yesterday after they were up by double digits late. Yikes. Got to hand it to the Mars for sticking with Daboll as long as they did. Like, there are some old school football franchises that just stick with their guys, like the Steelers. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. That's really good. You know what I mean? But he hadn't won a championship in a long time. So, what are you going to do? Glad IU trashed Illinois. I'm 100% with you. JT says, watching while getting ready to work on Veterans Day. Love the great content, Kent. My pleasure, JT. Have a good Veterans Day. And to everybody who served, please know that everybody here is with you and pays tribute to you and hopes for you and thanks you more than anything else for your service, keeping us safe. Thank you. Brian Kelly reportedly turned down $25 million. Here's a check for $25 million. Or do you want to get paid your $54 million in monthly installments of $729,000 and change? Brian Kelly said, I want all my money. I want $54 million. They said, what if I offered you $30 million? And he said, I want all of my money. And if you don't start sending me checks, I'm going to sue you. And LSU said, well, it seems like we're between a rock and a hard place. So we better start cutting checks. We'll see what they do. Victor Oladipo signing with the Bucks G League team. He had like a little tryout workout thing. I don't think anybody was overly impressed. He's now 32, 33 years old. His best days are behind him. He's banged up. Does anybody trust that he's going to be able to hold up over the course of an 82-game season? The answer was no. We shall see. I hope nothing for the best for Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo, as an Indiana Hoosier, was a terrific guy. Then he became a multimillionaire, Victor Oladipo, and he started talking about feathery, and he started being involved in branding discussions, and he went on that crazy The Masked Singer show, and all hell broke loose. Injuries and his own odd self-importance were his undoing, and there you go. Tyler Warren will be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. There is no question about that. All right, let's give something away. You'll see that the football has the Ace of Hearts. Let's see, we have jerseys with a 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Or no, the ace is the football. So Randy Smith, with a donation, says, did you hear there's trade rumors already heating up for Turner now? Sounds like the Bucks are trying to get rid of him. I don't know what the rules are about signing a free agent and then trading him. I don't know if you can, but hey, they want to trade him. That's cool. Like, let's see what you can go get and see who wants to pay him $26.7 million to do what he does on a regular basis for some other team. That'd be an interesting conversation. Say, what would you think about Miles Turner coming to you and you give us, hello? We were disconnected. Hey, get the Bulls back on the horn. Hey, how you doing? Hello? I don't think you'd get through. All right, let's roll the dice and spin the wheel. We'll see what we are playing for first. All right, we go over here and we roll the dice on the magical prize carpet. Oh my God, it is a 1. You know what that means? That means we're playing for the football, and I'm going to have to look up exactly who this character is. He's a wide receiver, like Cornelius Jones. He played for the national championship team. In like 2023 or something. Sorry. But this is good news. For everybody who doesn't win, we've got nothing left but the 5 Colts jerseys. How about that? Take it. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do with guys who just come on and try to raise hell? I can block them if y'all want. I don't like blocking people. Like they figure it out in the end that we don't give them the time and we don't care about trolls. So let's spin and see who wins the fabulous prize wheel. Only the fabulous prize wheel knows where the wheel is going to stop, and it stops on the yellow. And this ticket is Slick 29531. So if your YouTube handle is Slick 29531, DM me your name and address, or because if I send it to Slick 29531, I don't think it's going to get to you. So Slick 29531, send me your address and we will send the ball. Now, normally what we do, if it never happens, if somebody doesn't claim a prize, it'll go back into the bin normally. With this prize, it's not going to go back into the bin. I'm just going to give it to somebody who's got a love for Michigan football. But Slick 29531, hey, what the hell? It's nice to get something fun in the mail, so give me your address and I'll send you something fun in the mail, all right? It is not Slick Leonard. The late Slick Leonard would never, ever have Slick 29531 as his handle. It would be like Boom Baby 1. That would be Slick, right? The late, great Slick Leonard. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Breakfast with Kent at 6:40 a.m. Let's go. Bob Sanders, greatest safety in football history. No shame. Well, you can't make the club from the tub, but for a brief period of time, he was something. All right?